Hey everyone, welcome to number 17 on my Galaxy Girls list. Today is Crux, the Cross Constellation. If you looked at my official list on Instagram, you may have noticed that I misspelled Crux and instead called it Cruise. There is no Cruise constellation, it's definitely supposed to be Crux. I was brought up in a very Catholic household, so I wanted to play around with some Catholic imagery. I have already done this in a piece that you can see here that I called Annunciation, which was one of my most popular pieces, and you can find it on my shop. But this time I wanted to do a darker skinned woman instead, since last time I went with my grandmother's side of the family's roots from Spanish descent. So I'm still playing around with that gold and the golden tears and the lace detail. Building up darker skin with ink is a bit of a challenge. With lighter tones, I just do usually like 1 or 2 washes and let the ink spread out for some shadows. But with darker skin, I have to go in and do layer upon layer, and ink is permanent and it dries fast. So it's definitely harder to get a smoother skin tone and make shadow shapes the way I want. Although I did a mock-up again and posted it on my Instagram, so if you want to see the before process mock-up, you can go there. But I did do a mock-up on Procreate with my iPad Pro. I've never listed that down below, but I think I'll list that because I use it constantly, and if you for some reason were thinking you wanted an iPad or something to sketch digitally and on the go, I love my iPad Pro. Never thought I would want it and put it off for the longest time, and I gotta say it's probably like one of the main tools I use nowadays. Not just for sketching, but planning things out. All of the thumbnails that I do for my channel, I use Procreate. I edit all my photos for Instagram on there. I just use it so much. Anyway, I digress. I did a mock-up thumbnail of this piece on there, and even though I did that, the ink did what it wanted on the skin, so I kind of had to play it by ear and fix imperfections as I went along. Some things couldn't be fixed completely, so I might go back in digitally later for the Kickstarter book and the prints. One of my favorite parts of this piece was definitely doing the lace. So here I'm just doing a light ink wash and laying down some salt texture. To me, salt texture on ink is the perfect lace design. I don't know, if you've been following my videos from the beginning, you're probably like, okay, you have an obsession with salt and ink and watercolor, and yeah, it's true, I do. I have a problem. I talk about it constantly. Anytime somebody's like, oh yeah, I'm a watercolor artist, I'm like, have you used salt? Do you use salt? Are you a saltist? That should be a term. I'm a saltist. I also, of course, like doing long hair with wispy strands, and it might be hard to see, but in the nebula area with the little bit of watercolor, I also put in some gold pigment, so it also has a bit of a shine. A lot of this process is going to be me building up that skin tone like I talked about. I feel like it was going in a good place, and then I lost it, and then I kind of reworked it and found it again, but I went back and forth quite a bit. Unfortunately, I accidentally made the eyes too small for my taste. I tend to draw women with gigantic eyes, so to fit my style, I might go in and make them larger digitally later for the prints and stuff. I can't believe how fast October has flown by. I feel like I just started Inktober. To be honest, this has consumed so much of my life that I feel like it's just been one long day. But overall, it's been a very positive experience. I'm learning a lot about what I can handle and what risks I can take and make work in my art. People keep saying they're amazed by how fast I'm pumping these out, and this isn't normal me. This is very new to me. I usually take forever with my work. So I'm definitely learning a lot about speedy painting and drawing here. I definitely don't recommend doing crazy giant illustrations like this every day if it's not your job, because there's no way I could do school and this or work and this. I'm very blessed, hashtag blessed, to be able to have this as my job, so I'm able to spend my days working on it, but even that is quite a bit. Again, if you're new here, I am compiling all of these in a Kickstarter that I'll announce as soon as possible. I'm working on putting that together. I'm hoping it will be soon. I want to get at least 20 of the illustrations done out of the 31 before compiling it and announcing it. I also want to do mock-ups of the rewards, so that'll come as soon as possible, and I will link it below. If you've been here from the beginning, I'm sorry, I'm sure you're sick of hearing about that. But man, am I looking forward to at least getting into the 20s. It's really satisfying to have a group of these pieces to look at. I should put that in my video soon. I have put all the originals into a portfolio, and flipping through them is very satisfying to know that, wow, I've created all of these this month. It's awesome. And like I've said in previous videos, I have a hashtag for this prompt list on my Instagram. It's LyfeINK18, and I highly encourage you guys to check it out because there's so many artists taking part, a lot of different representations of the constellations, and it's just really cool to see where everybody's creativity takes them. If you personally are taking part in it, definitely comment below so people can find you and your work as well. I'm super sorry I haven't been getting back to many comments at all. I just haven't had time. I am reading everybody's comments, so thank you so much for leaving all your feedback and support. It means the world to me during this. It's keeping me sane and keeping me encouraged to keep going, even though I'm just real tired. But once this calms down, I will try to get back to some comments in the future. Oh yeah, this is my favorite part, doing that lace over that ink wash and salt that I put down originally. There's something so satisfying about painting lace. Again, I have a supply video and everything linked below, but I'm using this white ink that I got from Jet Pens called IC Super Comic White, and I really like that so far. All of my white gel pens have gummed up when going over all of this ink. So it's nice to have a jar of ink that I can use a brush with that just goes over anything. I have all of these black ink jars too that I talked about, and I really have only been using the platinum carbon ink that I put into my brush pens because it's completely waterproof. It's a little too dull, so I also use Deleter number 4 super black ink. I have the Amazon link for that down below. Don't put that in a brush pen, but you can use it with a regular brush as long as you wash it out, and it's just so nice and dark. I'm almost out of that bottle already, so I'll have to order some more. Pretty sure it's not too expensive, so that's a nice plus. It's also fairly waterproof. That little tray on the right was super inexpensive as well and came in a 2-pack on Amazon, and that has been super helpful for putting out different ink washes. So different cups are different shades of black that I make, and so I can just go right in there and pick out what shade of gray I want to use. Okay, and here is the finished piece. It was a nice change to do just a portrait for once. If you'd like to join along in this journey, please subscribe and give a like if you like this piece. I also post a few other things on my social media, and that's linked down below along with my shop and all that other fun stuff. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for Pavo, the Peacock constellation. Have a lovely day!